160 amps outside. We had just 200. But the camera was still outside filming the time lapse. I didn't get it on camera. If it's not on camera, it never happened. So lower piece, the upper piece, and I've got the top rail here now. So I just need to screw this to the beam, and then we've got this side ready. Guys, welcome back to the off-grid garage here in sunny hot. It's not actually sunny hot anymore. It's late afternoon, close to 4 p.m. already, but we had 207 amps at some stage. I just didn't get this on video. And now we have already negative 11 amps outside, because I'm still charging my wife's vehicle and there's not much sun out there anymore. It's all shaded here on the roof already, as you know. But guys, in today's video, we want to do another renovation garage transformation video. I want to keep working on my battery room here. And today's task is actually to make our own side posts, because the ones I can buy in the hardware store are far too wide to actually fit in this gap. So I had to make my own with some timber I had lying around. I cut this in 55 millimeters width, and now I've got basically 10 millimeters on this side and 10 millimeters on this side. This is exactly how thick the plasterboard is. So the plasterboard will go flush with the metal beam. And you've seen I've just taken this last wall stud out just to get more access down here to screw these wooden studs against the metal frame. So the wall will be actually thicker on this end then it will be on that end. But I don't think we will actually see that, because I will cut the plasterboard and then bend it. Yeah, it will be a bended plasterboard in this location. And then obviously here I can screw it against the wooden stud, and on the other side I will just glue it against the stud. Yeah, because there's no way to actually move or lift or just do anything with the battery shelf. It is far too heavy. I would need to take all the batteries out, and then we've got the cables in the back, so they won't fit anymore. So I'll leave the battery shelf and the cabling as it is and build my room around it. Yeah, unfortunately we have to sacrifice these USB chargers here on this side, because this is exactly where the wall will be. Will be very close to the actual battery shelf. So we cannot use these 12-volt outlets anymore. I have never used this cigarette lighter connector actually here. I've only ever used these USB connections here to charge all my cameras. And at this point I'm not sure if I just extend it and put it on the outside of the wall again, or if I remove this all together and come up with another solution. Because all these connectors here, they are running from the 12-volt DC-DC converter inside the top compartment here, if you remember. But probably come up with another solution here, and like a 6-way USB charger or something, like a little USB board or so. I'm not sure yet. I definitely haven't made up my mind yet. But this is some concern for another day. So I really want to finalize these wooden studs here on this side today, and start thinking about how I can solve this one here, because there needs to be some timber in here as well. And then the wall closes from here again into here somehow. And then I've got this construct here in between the roller doors where the wall has to stop and then starts from the top again. And I need to cut it out where all these supports are running here. This is not really a pretty situation. Okay, so that's all done. I don't think I need another stud in between here. And I've got these ones here 300 apart, but this one here will be 540 apart, so that should be fine. 600 is standard anyway, so 540, it works. And I don't actually think I need this piece of timber here in this stud anymore, because initially I thought I stop with the plasterboard over here and then put another sheet up here. So I've got a bit of a step in between, but the idea of putting a bend in it is much better. Cut it on one side, take out the plaster a bit so it can actually bend, and nobody will see that. This one here goes straight to the metal beam at the end, while this one doesn't. So this one goes straight up until here, and then the plaster will do a little bit of a bend, so it fits into the gap and sits against the wooden stud. I'm not 100% sure how this looks like, because we will see this here at the top with this straight line of the battery shelf, and if the plasterboard is not parallel to this line, we will actually see that. So at the moment it is just a thought. I'll have to see how it looks like afterwards. Otherwise I just cut the plasterboard here and put the other sheet against the beam here, and then we have a straight line all the way back, but then we will have a corner over here, pretty much like we have right now. Just I try to start thinking ahead. Man, I tell you what, I'm so proud of myself that I'm the keeper. Yeah, I kept this small piece of plasterboard here. So I can cut this in half now, and then we can try it over there at the front door. So to actually make enough space here, I had to cut off my shelf a little bit here in the bottom, as well as here at the top bench. And because this is also narrow here, I couldn't use the jigsaw, so I had to hand cut it with the hacksaw. It took forever. This is hardwood, and it doesn't look super pretty, but this is all we get because there will be plasterboard coming in very soon. And it will go left and right of this stud there. And the plasterboard on the left can be screwed into the wooden stud, but the one on the right needs to be glued because there's no access. The battery shelf is just too close to this beam. I've just used the machine screws here. I tapped with M6 into the metal beam here. This is all bombenfest. And yes, I made sure that there are no cables on the other side, of course. And here on this side I had planned to use this wooden... See, that's what I meant here. Look at this wooden stud here. It fits perfectly in between this track. But up here is this whole mechanic where I can remove this track. And the door stoppers are here, and then the support starts for the actual roller doors. So I have to cut this out somehow so it fits into this shape here. Yeah, and then we will have plasterboard in between up to this metal support. A little bit of insulation in between. And then up here I have to cut the plasterboard on an angle to fit the support here for the roller doors. And the plasterboard will not stop where the top track is. It will go all the way up to the ceiling, to this metal there, where the spray foam is. All the way up. Anyway, you will see this later. And look at our spring weather. Beautiful. Some mild clouds. Blue sky. As I said, 200 amps outside. Okay, I think I found a solution, but this does not involve this wooden beam, which I actually bought especially for this task. Now, what I will do is I will cut a smaller piece of timber, which goes in between, and then we have the plasterboard sitting right and left of this wooden stud. So I can screw it in from the outside, and then just put the plasterboard in between, silicone, done. And here on the other side, it just sits on this wooden stud. And again, I can cut the plasterboard on one side and then fold it so it has a bit of a kink in it. It is just minimal to get us from this wall thickness down to this wall thickness. Probably 10, 12, 15 millimeters the max. And I don't think we will actually see it afterwards. But I don't know, let's see. Okay, so this solution obviously involves more cutting. So one piece on this side and the, oh yeah, it fits. Look at this, perfect. That is perfect. Nice. And I think I figured out how to do this up here as well. So one plasterboard will go on this side of the support, yeah, and the other one will go inside of the support, because I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but the support is not in the middle. There's a far larger gap on this side than over here. This is very close to the actual roller door, so there's no way I can put a plasterboard in between, but I can put it inside of this angle support bracket. And the other one can sit in between the door stopper and the support. It will fit. Yes, it fits perfectly in between. This is exactly 11 millimeters. because this is the absolute nightmare area here to close with plasterboard. But I've got the bottom part now sorted. We've got the angle here as a given support anyway. And tomorrow morning we will have a look on top of it and see what we need to get plasterboard in this gap over there somehow. Good progress, good progress. All right, my friends. I think that's it for today. Yeah, the sun is almost setting. So I'll call it a night and we will continue tomorrow morning and at least get a good understanding what we need to do to close off this area on top, in between, but on top of the roller doors, yeah? So that'll be tomorrow's task. All right, you have a wonderful evening, a good night's sleep, and see you in a second. And good morning and welcome back to the off-grid garage here. I just had a very good breakfast. If you watch my German YouTube channel Living Down Under, you know what day it is, right? Write your answer down in the comments. I want to see who the true fans are. Okay, this morning we want to continue with the work here in the off-grid garage. Preparing for the plaster boards. I have to... Well, here comes the really tricky part. So to figure out how to close this gap up there above the roller doors, I have set up the laser again. Give me a direction where the wall needs to be. Yeah. So there you can see the green line. This is where the wall needs to be. And this is exactly the same direction we get from this top beam we welded in a while back. Then obviously I need to do certain cutouts here to push it all the way into the wall. So that works well. This one here is a bit of a tricky situation. I think we have to go somewhere inside. You can see the green line. This would actually match. So somewhere like this. And up here with this angle support for the roller doors, I have to make some timber or something where I can screw the plasterboard against. It is really a tricky situation here. And I've got enough space to the roller door on this side, and on the other side I will be probably like this. So there is a bit of space as well, which allows for the movement of the roller door. And then we will go all the way up to the roof with the plasterboard. And we will use some sticky foam up here, and the plasterboard will just push against this foam at the top to seal it up. I need to spray from all these gaps before, otherwise I can't reach them anymore. All right, let's start with this support here. Let me cut some timber and then we go from there. Man, I tell you what, this laser makes so much sense in construction here, right? Look at this, I can see the green line all the way up there on the other side of the garage. So nice. By the way, this morning we have 148 amps outside. All right, my friends, I think I figured it out now. I have cut all the wooden supports I need. So here we start with the back. It will look like this. So we've got a wooden stud basically in between this top beam here and this bottom support for the roller doors. And I can fit the two plaster boards left and right of it. So they lean against this timber now. And then go all the way up, as I said before, to the very hot roof here. You can probably fry an egg on this. It is super hot. I probably don't need any more supports up here. I just let the plasterboard go all the way up to the top where this sticky foam is. And of course we can put some insulation in between as well. This needs to be aligned correctly. So we've got one plasterboard on this side and the other one will sit. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of a recess, and this is where the plasterboard will sit in. Yeah, this will be a very tricky area here to build up with plasterboard and shield this off from the rest of the garage. I may change this configuration slightly when I start building it. And I've read all the comments under the last video where I sealed up this gap here in the garage roof. And of course I'm reading all your concerns in these comments there as well, which I really appreciate. Thank you very much. But here I had quite some time to think about this setup and design. And I think I've got a solution where we have no condensation, no moisture, no insects, no shit here at all, yeah? So hopefully it will work. It's just a creepy light here. My bottom half of the face is lit and the other half is dark. This is just where the light comes from below. Creepy. I know this shed is not the ideal building to build such a room here, but I think it is possible with a little bit of effort, and so far we have made very good progress, so I'm very happy with the results so far. And you know, people have told me the same when I started building the battery shelf here, and I said, nah, it can't be done. You can't use a storage shelf for that, it doesn't work, it will not be strong enough, and you can't completely seal it. Well, this one is 100% sealed. And there's no moisture inside, there's no condensation, there's no dust, there are no insects, nothing. And I think we will see a very similar thing here with this battery and system room. When I keep building it and make more progress, you will see it all makes sense eventually. At least as far as I can see the situation right now. And I think with this situation here solved now, we can actually start ordering the plasterboard. And I painted pink inside, right? We need to find a good color for the room. Alright my friends, I think so far this video from the last couple of days, so it took me a while to finalize all this one here and to think about how I will do it. But now I think I've got a good plan, and thanks to the laser everything makes sense now, right? We've got this situation here sorted, we've got this corner situation sorted, we've got this entrance sorted. So it all looks good. And now we are getting to the favorite part of these videos, right? 8, 6, 4 and 5. Guys, we have reached 95,400 and something subscribers. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, and thank you for all your comments and thumbs up as well, guys. Special thanks always goes to the people who are donating to the channel, buying me a beer, becoming a channel member. Thank you very much to these beautiful people. And guys, as always, until the next video when we do something, I don't know what we are doing in the next video. I've got plenty of work to do here. I probably surprised myself this time. Until then, guys, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye bye. Oh yeah, I'm finishing early today, 11:45. And we've got 160 amps outside. Nice.